Or maybe it'll be relatively brief and very exciting. I don't know. Great. At some point in your mathematical lives, you'll have to start being able to think about and write formulas and just look at them and figure out what's going on with formulas. So the book throws these formulas at you. They're ones that you already know. For example, let's look at a square. If you have a square, you know what about a square? That all the sides are equal? So you know to find the perimeter of a square, what would you do? Well, you add up all the sides, but when you add up the same number 4 times, rather than adding it 4 times, you can just do what to that number? Multiply it by 4. Hence the reason they said perimeter equals 4 times whatever the side is. Same thing this. When we talk about the area of a square, we know that area is length times width. Well, in a square, since both numbers are the same, rather than saying length times width of a square, we could say side squared. And rectangle, do you understand? What does this mean when you find perimeter of a rectangle? What do you know about rectangles? Opposite sides are equal. So you've got the width, I don't know why that doesn't right, the width here and the length there. Rather than saying the perimeter is length plus width, a quicker way, rather than adding something together, you can just use 2 times it. So they're kind of just getting you used to seeing formulas that you can use. And usually with formulas, we use letters that stand for things there. Same thing. Now why with a triangle can't we put just 3 times s? Why is it s sub 1, s sub 2, s sub 3? Anybody know? Ooh, teacher stumped the kids there. Well, if you could assure that your triangle was an equilateral triangle, have we talked about triangles?
Yeah.
If you knew that your triangle was an equilateral triangle, then you could say the perimeter was 3 times s, but that doesn't say that. This is for any triangle, and the only way that 3 times s works is if all the sides are the same. And if it's a normal triangle that's not this, yeah, they're all 3 sides, but they're all 3 different sides. And that's what this by the way is called a subscript. It's different than exponents. Subscripts just are ways to label letters. So that's why you'd have to use S1 plus S2 plus S3. And then you know the area of the triangle right here. So this basically is nothing more than one handy dandy local place for you to be able to figure out how to use formulas. So let's look at one. Let's go to my blackboard. And on the blackboard, let's say you have, this is right out of the book, oh boy. If a rectangle has a length of 6 and a width of 4, find its perimeter. So obviously, Charlie, the first thing I would do is, yes, draw the rectangle. Did you say that and I just didn't hear you? The rectangle is what? 4 by 6. But if I were using the formula, look at my rectangle perimeter. What is my formula? This is the next thing I would do. What's my formula? Perimeter equals what? 2L plus 2W. Right? Let's go. Measure, friends. So instead of the letter L, I'm going to put what number? And the number next to a letter means to multiply. So the perimeter is going to equal 2 times, what's my length? 6 plus 2 times 4. And then we've done order of operations. Have we done order of operations?
Yeah.
What is 2 times 6? You have to do this, 12. What is 2 times 4?
8,
8. And 12 plus 8 is
20.
20, and that would be your perimeter. Have we done order of operations?
We just have
Where you have to do multiplication before you do addition.
Uh-huh.
So you got those two there. You looked at me like I was talking some language besides English there for a minute. Well, that's enough of that. It's not going to be too terribly complicated.